It's the Wisco Home Goods Summer Clearance Event, and it's too hot to miss. Now through July 26th, buy any 2 10-ounce soy candles and get the third free. Stock up on your favorite scents while they last, but hurry, this deal is in-store only and exclusions apply. Shop local, breathe easy, feel good with Wisco Home Goods. Think of the excitement of being a kid on the first day of school. Now imagine what it would feel like if your family couldn't afford to send you with a backpack and school supplies. Help Goodman Community Center give every kid a great start to the school year by supporting their backpack and school supply drive. Visit goodmancenter.org/backpack drive to learn how you can buy supplies and drop them off, order online and ship to Goodman, or simply make a donation and let Goodman do the shopping. Every child matters and every gift helps. This is CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, and here's what Madison's talking about. Today on CityCast Madison. Welcome to the Friday News Roundup. We're storming into this week of stories mimicking our recent weather patterns, perhaps some isolated rain and moments of sunshine. Speaking of which, joining me today is our executive producer, Haley Sperling. Hey, Sunshine.
Hi, Bianca. You are my sunshine. You're such a ray of light. I love being in this virtual room with you.
Likewise. You are my sunshine. And our other sunshine is our newsletter editor, Rob Thomas. Hey, Rob. How you doing?
I'm good, Bianca. I can picture you with a big weather map in the background doing your thing.
Y'all know I've been doing some driving this week, and the weather has been insane. But hey, I am kicking us off this week with a bit of a rain on our parade story. But rain too shall pass. The opening of the much anticipated and long-awaited Madison Public Market has been delayed. Once again, the public market, if you don't know, is a soon-to-come public good that's been envisioned for the city for a couple decades. So the vision is a year-round indoor marketplace for local food vendors, artists and businesses with a mix of food retail, wholesaling, arts and crafts vendors, and community event space. That's located at the corner of East Johnson and First Street, the old Madison City Fleet Building location. So construction, if you've been paying attention or not, it started back in October 2023, and the market was first projected to open this spring, and then they said, actually, we need to push it to fall. The news this week, market officials are saying they need to push it once more, aiming for a grand opening now next year, early 2026. The Market Foundation said, quote, "We're facing some necessary delays related to the lease finalization process and building improvements required to meet public health standards." So, and that's specifically, for food vendors, y'all. What is your reaction to this delay?
Boo. I'm
sad.
I'm sad. I'm not really mad, I guess, because these things happen all the time. And I don't know, when it comes down to good things happening, I'm kind of optimistically pessimistic. I don't know. I just don't expect good things to happen. And so then when construction finally got started on this huge project that people have been begging for, like you said, decades, I mean, there was so many questions about, are we going to put the funding forward? There were millions of dollars that were going to hang in the line of what are we going to do with this space? And I live really close to the market location. So I walk past it, drive past it all the time. And I'm constantly kind of peering in there of when are we going to get our market? What's going to go on? And hearing that they need more approvals, permits, whatever, construction costs, delays, I don't know, tale as old as time. I'm sad. I'm not surprised. We'll get it one day. I hope I still live in Madison when we get it. That's all I'll say.
Didn't we see someone say, I'm looking forward to my descendants being able to appreciate the public market?
Yes, literally. Because they posted the delay on Facebook, and all the comments, of course, were going off. Yeah, someone's like, I literally can't wait for my descendants to be able to enjoy this market when it finally opens. And I feel like that is the sentiment for a lot of these big projects in Madison. It's okay, we're doing it. And then it's like, just kidding, we don't have the money. Then it's like, just kidding, we got the money.
Yeah, we're playing the long game here in Madison.
Yeah.
This is about future generations. I mean, I think honestly, I'm just so jaded by the fact that this project has been delayed or at least been in the works for over 20 years that like at this point, it's like the friend who always shows up 15 minutes late for dinner and you start mentally build that in that they're not going to be there on time.
Me, I'm that friend.
Yeah, Haley and I are like rolling in our chairs backwards.
She's so worth it when she gets there. And I think the public market will also be worth it when she finally shows up and wait, did we say 6? Yeah. So.
Oh, you just fixed a whole lifetime of self-esteem issues with that, Rob. Thank you. We're so worth it. It's like someday we'll be there 15 minutes early or maybe we won't. Yeah, I kind of feel like I want to say the same thing I said back in the spring, which is if you're going to do it right. If it's not ready, if it's not safe, there's no reason to open early. And good things do take time, but it is kind of feeling like the persona of the market is a real will they, won't they? Like us being the residents and the market being like, are we going to get together? We'll see. Wait for the next episode. But yeah, what are you guys thinking out there who are listening? Like, how are you feeling about this delay? Do you have questions about the coming market? Leave us a voicemail at 608-318-3367. Let us know what questions you have. We're hoping that we'll talk to officials at the market soon to find out more about how it's going over there. So it would be great to have some good questions if you got them. Leave us a voicemail one more time, 608-318-3367. We are talking about public goods, and on that topic, one of summer's most used public good is the public pool, and Goodman Pool announced a big change this week. So we're going to dive into that news, but first, let's take a quick break. On July 19th, experience a night of wonderful music under the stars. Join Madison Opera for Opera in the Park, a free concert in beautiful Garner Park. A Madison summer tradition, Opera in the Park draws thousands of people to enjoy a concert of excerpts from opera and Broadway. Opera in the Park 2025 takes place at 8 p.m. on Saturday, July 19th. The rain date is Sunday, July 20th. The concert features music by Mozart, Bizet, Puccini, Beethoven, and more, performed by Renee Richardson, Emily Tragle, Andrew Bidlack, Benjamin Taylor, the Madison Opera Chorus, and the Madison Symphony Orchestra, conducted by John DeMaine. The audience is always invited to conduct with their light sticks on a special number. So pack your picnic, gather your friends, and join Madison Opera in Garner Park on July 19th to celebrate the power of connection through music. Learn more at madisonopera.org.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks. Smooth, bright, deliciously crafted. Introducing Starbucks Sansera Blend, their smoothest, brightest coffee yet. It's a new kind of light roast, one that's packed with so much flavor, it shines no matter how you brew it. So go ahead and try it hot, iced, black, or with a splash of creamer. Visit athome.starbucks.com/Sansera-blend-coffee to bring Starbucks Sansera Blend home.
All right, y'all. A story making some waves is a policy change over at Goodman Public Pool. Rob, you're going to dive into that one for us.
You took my pun. I was going to say that. That's all right.
Splash, splash.
Making waves.
All right. I'll suit up for this.
There he is.
Yeah. So Goodman Pool on Olin Avenue. A lot of people love to use it in the summer, but there is a big change. Madison Parks this week announced that kids under 16 must be accompanied by a parent or an adult guardian 18 or over in order to use the public pool. And past that bar was kids under 11 had to have parental supervision. But Madison Parks made this change, they said, because there's been a series of physical altercations involving minors at the pool. The last straw was apparently a fight between two girls at the pool on June 27th. And when police responded, a group of, quote, unruly, unquote, juveniles began to surround the investigating officer. So it got a little tense there poolside. Pool officials say that while that fight may be the impetus for this change, it's also about safety in the water as well as out of the water in case something happens with an injury with a kid in the pool. So the adult is required to stay at the pool the whole time, and they must sign an emergency contact waiver when they enter just in case there's any safety issues. Madison Parks Community Services Manager Terrence Thompson said, "We're just trying to take preventative measures to ensure the pool is a safe and enjoyable environment for everyone. Did you guys hear about this? And what did you think about raising the age for unaccompanied minors at the public pool?
It's sort of like a double-edged sword here. I don't know. Like, it kind of sucks that we have to have these policies in place, but it does seem like there were genuine issues going on. I know some people are just like, well, why can't the lifeguards deal with this? It's like, well, the lifeguards aren't there to babysit your kids. The lifeguards are there to ensure the safety of everyone at the pool. Like, they're not there to break up a fight. And also, the lifeguards are usually teenagers in early 20-somethings themselves. Like, they are not equipped to, de-escalate conflict like that. So I don't know. Again, it sucks, but also we already have policies in place like this for places like the mall where these things have also been happening. You have to have an adult accompanying it to be at the mall at a certain time. So, like, I guess it makes sense for the pool. It's a bummer, though, because, not everyone will have a parent or guardian that can come with them at the pool. And, like, that's kind of the reason that it's a great place, right? Is that, like, it's a spot where kids can stay busy, kids can have fun, cool off in the summer, and parents can be at work or do something else, but kind of defeats the purpose here. So just kind of a big bummer that it had to come to this.
Well, I think my reaction to this is, I guess I'm not surprised, but a little startled hearing about the kids throwing down and surrounding the investigator. I assume that would cause an upset anywhere. That said, I think I don't know that I feel like this is the best move. I, all through childhood, went to the pool without an adult, but felt like I was in the supervision of the pool. And I feel like this is going to be a real hindrance for kids that were doing a good job at the pool. And now there is a fight. And I know it's a tough situation, but I do think lifeguards could be trained in de-escalation. And these are kids. And I think that this might be a step too far, but I'm not the one working there.
It's a tough one. I think I see both sides of it, like you guys say. Like, I understand you want to be safe when you're at the pool and you want your kids to be safe. I did do some Googling. This is like a problem at public pools like all over the world. This isn't just a Madison thing. Even I was reading stories from like Germany, which has a big outdoor pool culture, and Australia. And, I mean, a lot of people get together, a lot of young kids get together. It can happen. The Thompson, the guy I quoted, said he's seen police come to the pool in response to large fights about 8 times in 8 years. So I don't know if that's a lot or if that's like, oh, it's only once a year. Do you enact a sweeping policy like this based on one admittedly, disturbing incident? I was reading some community members are kind of bristled at the change and basically said, let the kids swim. And one mentioned something that I think is really relevant, which is part of the problem is that kids can't swim in the lakes here in Madison. It's not safe. So it's like, unless you belong to one of the private pools around town, which, the entrance fee is like literally hundreds of dollars, the Goodman Pool is kind of your only place to swim on a hot summer day, really.
Unless you're wealthy and you have a pool.
Exactly. Well, yeah, unless you have your own pool. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Or you have your blow up, turtle pool like we have. So, yeah, I understand the impetus. One thing that is encouraging to me that I saw this referred to as a temporary change, and they're going to kind of see how this goes over the next 2 to 3 weeks and see the reaction. I mean, kids really do need third spaces like this in the summer. Like you said, Haley, especially if their parents are working, especially if, our summers are getting hotter, it seems like every year with global warming. So, if they're seeing more parents taking their kids to the pool, I think that means the policy is a success. If they're just not seeing any kids at the pool, I think that means they need to revisit it.
Yeah. And we have to think about the disproportionate impact, like who this is going to impact the most, right? And so I'm glad to hear that it's temporary and that they'll be monitoring, like, what are the impacts of this? Because I could see this being a real issue for a lot of kids that rely on that as a third space.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think it's also just kind of wild, too, to bring up the fact that Goodman is Madison's only public pool. I mean, of course, Monona has a nice one out there, too. But, just thinking about the size of our city, the fact that there's only one spot where people can go.
And during the budget referendums last fall.
Oh, my God, they almost cut it.
They almost cut it. It was a big selling point, I think, when they were trying to sell a referendum was the Goodman pool might, cut back or close altogether. So this is a real treasure in the city, and you want people to use it safely, as many people as possible.
I'm adding this to my list of if I ever run for office in Madison, build
Oh
more
my
pools.
But I do, well, we're talking about running. I just want to say one more point on the pools in the third space, that I think COVID was also such a blow for so many kids in their social development.
Yeah.
And, the stories just bring up a lot of memories for me. The pool meant so much, and going, Boys and Girls Club maybe is going to become more important, or those sort of spaces that have staff members that could come with kids and bring groups. But to lose out on that opportunity at our only public pool for kids to develop friendships and how to deal with conflict. Ideally, it doesn't escalate to the way it does, but some conflict is to be expected. So, it's tough.
It should just be splash conflict and playing mermaids and fights over who has the longest handstand. Like, that's what it's all about, guys.
Who can hold their breath the longest?
Sell it with a game of Marco Polo, like you did. Yeah.
Yes. We're going to Marco Polo it straight to Restaurant Week. I'm not even going to make that creative. I'm hungry thinking about swimming. Marco Polo, Restaurant Week. Okay, y'all, we've got more news to get to, and I've told you where we're going. Look forward to that, but first we're going to take a quick break.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold! Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Marco.
Polo.
Marco, Restaurant Week. Yes. Mark your calendars, guys, for this year's Summer Restaurant Week. It is kicking off so soon, happening July 20th through the 25th, aka starting tomorrow. You can get some killer deals at some of Madison's hottest restaurants. And for folks who aren't familiar with Restaurant Week, let me break it down for you. The week-long event is put on twice annually by Madison Magazine. There's a Summer Restaurant Week and there's a Winter Restaurant Week. And of course, right now I'm talking about the summer one. It is July. We are in the depths of summer. And so dozens of restaurants from across the city participate in the event by putting together a prix dinner menu with 3 courses starting at just $30. Plus, and this is my hot tip coming in here, some spots offer lunch specials that are even cheaper. Like, I'm talking 3-course lunch for $20. So if you're hungry, look into that because you can get a really good deal. Bianca, Rob, have you guys done restaurant weeks before? Any favorites that have stood out to you over the years?
I feel like every restaurant week I talk about the Bodino at Asterio Papavero.
Oh, sure.
Of course.
We would go for lunch and it was like, a salad, a main pasta dish, and then that incredible butterscotch pudding for $20 or whatever. It's the best.
I love it. I try to do at least like 1 or 2 every year. And it's just a good time to get together with friends and to go try a new place. It's a good opportunity, I think, to, like I just said, try something new because the stakes are pretty low, right? Like, even if you're having a $40, $30 3-course meal, like, you're not spending $100 on something. Of course, drinks are extra, whatnot, have you there. But if you're looking to go, here are some 3 tips from our friends over at Madison Magazine. Shout out to Emma Waldinger, their food editor there. She's been all over their social media, giving y'all some hot tips, giving you a sneak peek at the menus. And here are her top 3 tips for having a successful restaurant week. First and foremost, make a reservation in advance because a lot of these places will fill up, especially for the summer restaurant week. Number 2, read the menu ahead of time. I don't know about y'all, but I am a huge fan of like, where are we going? Okay, let me Google it and I'm going to study the menu and I'm going to figure out what I want right now and I'm going to be drooling over the rest of it. So game plan, y'all. And then number 3, bring a friend or several. You know, in my opinion, Restaurant Week is so much better as a shared experience. Plus, the more people you bring, the more items on the menu you can try, you know? You guys know, but I just got back from Spain. I had my nice little solo trip. It was a little eat, pray, love moment, and everything was great. But I was telling my boyfriend earlier, I was like, it's really hard to eat tapas alone. Tapas, for one, is not the move. And so Restaurant Week, for one, it can be done, but it's more fun with friends. It's more fun to be able to share the experience, to share your food, to have fun with each other, be in community, try something new with friends. So those are the top 3 tips. And with all of that in mind, here's a few restaurants I'm looking forward to. And of course, for the full list of participating restaurants, we'll have a link in our show notes because there's literally like 40 plus of them. We can't make it through all of them. So let's kick it off. These are some of the ones I'm excited about for lunch. And all of these places that have lunch menus also have dinner menus. So if you're interested in something for lunch, they might have it for dinner too. First off is Les Délices de Agua. I went there for the first time a couple of weeks ago and wow, the flavors, the foods, the spices, it was so good. On their lunch menu, they have pastels, jollof rice, and fritters, and that's just coming in 3 courses, $20. And of course, they have a dinner option as well. Second up that I'm excited about is Mishki Coquina Peruana, and I'm gonna butcher some of these words. I'm so sorry. They have both a Madison and a Monona location. For lunch, you get a choice of an empanada plus a bunch of other main options, which we love. We love when there are things to choose from. And then the third one I want to highlight is La Teguara. Honestly, this is just kind of one of my favorite restaurants in Madison in general. I love this spot. I don't know if you guys have been there. You're like, you don't need to convince me to go. I will just be there. But for lunch, they have yucca fries, tequeños, empanaditas, arepas, and so much more. And again, it all starts at $20. Some other spots I was looking at for lunch are La Polera Colombiana and Taverna Kaya. So am I making you guys hungry yet?
Yeah, I just wrote something on the Madison Minutes newsletter yesterday on kid-friendly dining. And La Tagara, kids eat free on Tuesday. So you take your kids to La Tagara, you're going to get a lot of food for not much money.
Ooh, that's a real hot tip there.
Yeah.
Lots to love. And yucca fries are like so fun. I feel like kids would love yucca fries.
Yes.
Little hand food, empanadas, you know.
Yeah, they're fun. And like the empanaditas too, they're just little guys. They're just like mini empanadas. I love them. So those were some of the ones I'm excited about. The lunch menus. Let's dive into the main event, the dinner menus. First up is Cadre over on University Avenue. I have done Restaurant Week here before with my boyfriend, and it was amazing. And this year's menu looks seriously killer. They've put a little bit of a preview on their Instagram, so check that out. They're also doing dates slightly different. I believe they're going from July 22nd to the 26th for their Restaurant Week for some reason, but go off. Some of the stuff that is on their menu that looked really good to me, they had chèvre cheese curds, blistered shishito peppers, steak frites, cassoulet, so much more. That one starts at $50, so it's a little bit higher end. But like I said, could be a really fun date night.
And we've had the chef of Cadre, Evan Daniels, on the show because they also do food over at Lola's and are one of the owners there.
Yes. So this is it's like true French cuisine. It's a lot of butter. Expect that. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? We're in the dairy state.
Yum, yum, yum.
Bianca's like, I'm ready. Let's go. The second place that I'm looking at for dinner is Feast Artisan Dumpling Tea House. They have so many dim sum options, pork belly buns, crab rangoon, scallop shumai. And then for the mains, they have a bunch of bowl options and whatnot. And for desserts, I saw they also had like sesame balls. Those are my favorite things. I love those. Have you guys had those, like the fried sesame seed balls? And then they usually have like a sort of bean curd paste in there. They're really good.
No, I haven't.
I love them. I think I had it for the first time like a few years ago and I was like, what is this? And suddenly I was obsessed. They've got them at a couple places around town. Third place on my list for dinner, Rob, you already mentioned, Osteria Papavero. It is a classic. This is the authentic Italiano spot on the Isthmus. They're offering insalata di calamari, halibut, heirloom tomato risotto, and of course their world famous budino. Again, this menu, it's $30, like 3 courses for $30. It's crazy. Some other of the dinner spots that I was looking at too, Heritage Tavern, they've got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Sultan Restaurant, if you're looking for some Pakistani cuisine. And then of course, Mariners Inn, classic supper club fare, and one of your last chances to go to Mariners Inn, because as we talked about before, they're closing at the end of August. So, you guys hungry? We ready to go?
I mean, Papavero, I know we already like put some slap and love onto that, but when we talked to the owner and chef Francesco Mangiano, I could not make it through that conversation without being like, can I go eat? Because it was so beautiful. I recommend people go listen to that. And also we've talked to Sultan Ahmed, who is the owner of Sultan, and that food also like is insane. I think people should get in on these deals.
Yeah, I think Sultan, in my opinion, the best naan in Madison. Like, truly, you have not lived until you've had their naan. It is so good.
Which is hilarious because in the interview with him, he was like, that is what all of the food from this region, everyone is like adding naan here in the US. And you don't need naan. And then they turn around, they're like, people want naan. And then they have the best naan.
We can do
so
naan.
good.
We just don't need naan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they do it the best.
Yeah, we'll do it the best. Yeah.
That's so classic Sultan too. Like, he's a friend and I'm just like, yeah, I get it. But they do it in like the tandoor oven. Like, it's really cool. It's really good. And also full of buttery goodness.
They also have like really good teas. Well, I feel like I had a rose matcha latte there, and it was one of the best I'd ever had.
I love it. They also started doing, just to keep going on the Sultan train, they also started doing like a loyalty card, like a punch card. And if you fill up a certain amount, then you get like free naan. And then they're still, they're figuring out what all the levels are going to be. But they've had someone already fill one up. And I was like, dang, all right, go off. Because it's not hard. Go to a lab night every couple of weeks.
That's one of the things I love about Madison's restaurants is like, we know people who are working there. And I say we, the collective we, you out there listening, it's very easy to know the people who are running the restaurants and are making your food. And that's something that I love, that feeling of community. And we're going to turn to our neighbors crew for CityCast Madison, our community here. We've got a number of neighbor shout outs. Haley, can you kick us off?
Yes, I love our neighbor shout outs. This one is from Bryn O. She's given a shout out to Rise Up and Write. It's a youth advocacy workshop for middle and high school youth activists. So they get to use your voice and change the world through writing. And heck yeah, as a writer, I am wholeheartedly behind this. Let's go. Rise up and write, y'all.
Speaking of community and bringing people together, Eli W. wanted to shout out Working Draft Beer Company for being a great welcoming neighborhood gathering spot. You can walk in and make a friend or a neighbor. You know, it's always a great place to get together.
Double tap that and the first one. I was thinking, once those writers grow up and they're 21, they can go hang out at Working Draft
Yes,
and then write
that's
the
right.
next American novel. And for all of us who are already 21 and up, Working Draft Beer Company is a great place to
Go
hang.
write your novel there.
Yeah, go write your novel. We're all working on one. Actually, more nonfiction. I know, Rob, you've got one in the works.
In the works, yeah.
Yeah. Our last one for this week is Shauna K. Love this one. LGBT Books to Prisoners. They send books and resources to queer incarcerated folks across the country. Check out the donate page on their website to see what types of books they're looking for. Such a good cause, and such good work. So those are gorgeous, y'all. If you're out here thinking, I want to make a shout out and I want to become a CityCast Madison neighbor, guess what? You can. And if you do, by the way, you'll also enjoy perks like ad-free listening, invitations to members-only events, and more. So become a neighbor, go to membership.citycast.fm/Madison. We got one more story, our kicker. Well, in a sky full of stars, a part of Madison around Camp Randall is about to have streets full of closures. Those of you who are already in the know that's because British rock stars are coming to Camp Randall. Yep, the very popular band Coldplay is playing this Saturday at the Badger Field, and it's going to be crazy. I was going to say it's going to be lit. I'm going to quick talk about street closures because Chris Martin would say that he sweeps the streets he used to own, and the concert because, well, it was all yellow. So, street closures, you might have already noticed, North Breeze Terrace has closed daily this week for concert setup, with southbound traffic temporarily allowed between 4 to 6 p.m. That changes tomorrow, Saturday, beginning at 8 a.m. North Breeze Terrace will be fully closed between Regent Street and University Ave through 6 p.m., going through Monday, July 21st. Monroe Street's also going to have a closure between Regent Street and Randall Avenue starting at 8 a.m. on Saturday as well, and that's going to remain closed through Sunday, early a.m. And Regent Street will have a closure between Spooner Street and Randall Avenue after the concert for an hour. So that's around 11 p.m. to midnight. So generally, the Camp Randall area is going to have some street closures. Pay attention there. We'll share a link in our show notes, if you need to see something like I do. But I just wanted to shout those out if you live around there, so you're going to hear it. Also, that during these closures, Madison Police will be directing eastbound traffic on Regent Street towards Park Street. So just generally keeping a heads up there. I want to turn to the concert itself. Are you guys feeling anything about Coldplay coming? Does it appeal to you at all? Silence. So I know you're not excited. I know, but you have to just say how you feel.
I'm not excited. I'm not excited about the $600 concert tickets that I've been seeing. Tickets are already sold out, but like I said, I've been seeing them online for like $500, $600+. It's crazy to me because I remember when they first announced this concert months ago, we were so excited because, this was the first concert to be announced at Camp Randall in almost 30 years, which is crazy. And then Morgan Wallen was also like, oh, hey, I'm coming too. So it's cool to see these things come into fruition. I think it's a huge economic boon for our city. I love people being able to come in and explore our town and give some love to our local restaurants and whatnot and all of our local businesses. We love to see it. So I'm happy about it.
And I don't think the tickets are sold out, but they're like $500.
Yeah, it's like the secondhand tickets are like out there.
Do you know how much they were regular before they sold out? I think they were still like $300.
They were still really expensive.
Yeah, they're still really expensive. It wasn't like they were $50.
No, you can't. What is a $50 concert ticket anymore?
That's right. Sorry, I'm betraying my age. Yeah, I think Coldplay does kind of like Wisconsin. Do you guys remember that last fall they did like an album release party?
Yes.
Like a dive bar in central Wisconsin, because the album was called Moon Music, and the town was it was like the Moon Saloon in Moon, Wisconsin.
Yeah, and I thought that was cool, and I also think it is cool that they are playing in Madison. That like this is their Midwest stop. Like they are not going many places on this tour, and the fact that they are here rather than like in Minneapolis or Chicago, like I think that's pretty cool for us.
Yeah. I mean, there's something my 17-year-old self is emerging. When I first heard this news, I didn't feel this way, but now that it's coming up, I kind of want to go. But the tickets are like $700, the ones that I was looking at.
If you hang out by the stadium, maybe you could find someone like scalping one or trying to sell one. I will say my best Camp Randall ticket story was I was going to a football game with my roommate at the time, and I didn't have a ticket. And so we were going to walk around the stadium, try and find one. But she was like, first, like, okay, I got to go to the bathroom first. And so she like walked into one of the porta potties and then walked out holding a ticket.
I mean, that sounds shady as all get out, but I don't even want to know.
But maybe there's a Coldplay porta potty ticket out there for you.
Maybe
don't look too hard. That was a once in a lifetime experience.
You could
just
be
a
blessed.
quick glance. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, closing walls and ticking clocks, right? Curse missed opportunities. All the hits are etched in. I'm not going to bleed myself dry for this one, not for Chris Martin. So lights are going to have to guide us home. I've done too much. Y'all, if you're out there will be street closures. If you're actually one of the lucky ones going to the concert, I hope you rave your little heart out. And I just love you guys on this team. And this has been such a great news roundup. Let's close this out. Thanks for rounding up the news with me this week, y'all. Haley Sperling, you're a star.
It's a pleasure. You are the light that guides us home, Bianca.
And Rob Thomas, thank you for being another one of these supernovas in our orbit.
Thank you for fixing us, Bianca.
That's all for today here on CityCast Madison. I'm Bianca Martin, your host. We're produced by Jade Isiri Ramos and Selena Saya Reynolds. Haley Sperling is our executive producer. Our theme music is by Carl Christensen. Additional music by Laporte and Ron Gamache from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images. Rob Thomas is our newsletter editor. Don't forget, you can always get more news delivered right to your inbox by subscribing to Madison Minutes. And if you enjoyed today's show, why not share this podcast with someone who loves a good meal or a good old visit to the public pool? All right, see you back here Monday morning with more news from around the city. Until then, take good care and dance under the stars.